Right. So the chapter name is acids and bases. What do you mean by an acid and what is a base? Can you define what is an acid and a base? Hmm? What are acids and what are bases? So on the screen you are able to see that H plus and OH minus. So H plus ions are called as what is acid and base? Generally acids and bases can be defined using the pH value of their existence. So what is the pH value? Potential of hydrogen. So how much amount of potential of hydrogen is there in that? Accordingly, we'll classify that it is an acid or a base, right? So if it is an acid, it should have the pH that should be less than 7. If the pH is more than 7, then it is called as base. If the pH is 7, then we call it as neutral. Okay, less than 7 acid, greater than 7 base, and 7 it is neutral. Okay, and H plus ions are responsible for the acidic nature, and OH minus ions are responsible for the basic nature. H plus ions occur majorly in our food items. It is present in the lemons, and OH minus is majorly present in the liquid gas or something. You can take anything example. This is the pH meter which is given here as a figure. But it is small in the next slides you can see it clearly. Right. Next, coming to acid. An acid is a substance that releases H plus ion and aqueous solution. Aqueous means water. Okay, aqueous solution acid and H plus ions releases. What does an acid do? In an aqueous solution, NaCl acid, it will release the H plus ions. Okay. Acid is a substance that releases H plus ions in the aqueous solution, right? Aqueous means water, and example, when hydrochloric acid is dissolved in water, the compound separates into chlorine ions and hydrogen ions. So hydrochloric acid contains the HCl. If HCl is dissolved in water plus H2O, then it forms as OH minus and H plus ions and Cl minus. H plus and Cl minus ions are being diffused in the water. Okay. Next, what is strong acid and what is weak acid? What is strong base and weak base? How can we classify the strong acid, strong base, and weak acid and weak base? A strong acid breaks down completely into water and gives off many H plus ions. ఒక స్ట్రాంగ్ యాసిడ్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఇట్ బ్రేక్స్ డౌన్ కంప్లీట్లీ ఇన్ వాటర్. వాటర్లో కంప్లీట్గా బ్రేక్ అయ్యి అన్ని హెచ్ ప్లస్ అయాన్స్ని, మోస్ట్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ హెచ్ ప్లస్ అయాన్స్ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసి దాన్ని ఏమంటా? We call it as strong acid. An acid which breaks down completely in the water and gives off many H plus ions is called as an strong acid. Next one is weak acid. The opposite to that will be weak acid. A weak acid only partially break down. It gives off much less H plus ions than a strong acid. Strong acid కంటే తక్కువ H plus ions ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది. దాన్ని వీక్ యాసిడ్ అంటాం. స్ట్రాంగ్ యాసిడ్ అంటే ఉన్న అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్ లో మోర్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ H plus ions ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసి we call it as what? Strong acid. If there are less number of H plus ions, we call it as weak acid. What are the characteristics of an acid? ఏదో ఒక సబ్స్టెన్స్ మీకు ఇచ్చాను. ఆ ఇచ్చిన సబ్స్టెన్స్ యాసిడా బేస్ అని మనకు తెలియదు. So on what basis we are going to define that the given solution is an acid? ఎలా చెప్తాను? Acids have a sour taste. First, the taste of the acid will be sour in taste. Okay. Next one is acid reacts with metals and carbonates to produce a gas. Acid అనేది metals ఇంకా carbonates తో react అయ్యి gas అనేది produce చేస్తుంది. Next, acid contains hydrogen. An acid will contain hydrogen. Hydrogen అనేది ఖచ్చితంగా ఉంటుంది. Okay. So those characteristics we'll see in detail. Acids in food taste, sour, and produce a burning or prickling feeling on the skin. Right? When you eat a lemon, you will feel differently, right? And even when you eat a tamarind, you will be feeling differently. So these are all acids which gives a sour taste and which gives a pickling feeling. Pickling feeling and that type of feeling. Okay, and characteristics of acids then, since tasting or touching an unknown chemical is extremely dangerous, other methods are needed to tell whether a solution is an acid or a base. So ఒక యాసిడ్ ని ప్రతి యాసిడ్ ని మనం టేస్ట్ చేసి చెక్ చేస్తే యాసిడ్ బేస్ అనేది తెలిస్తే ఇఫ్ యూ HCl is there, will you taste it? హైడ్రోక్లోరిక్ యాసిడ్ ఉంది, హైడ్రోక్లోరిక్ యాసిడ్ ని టేస్ట్ చేసి యాసిడ్ అని చెప్తాం మనం. సో అన్ని యాసిడ్స్ ని మనం టేస్ట్ చేసి చెప్పలేము, రైట్? ఆల్ ఇప్పుడు యాసిడ్ కాదని ప్రతిదాని నోట్ మీద పెట్టుకొని యాసిడ్ బేస్ అని చెప్పలేము. సో ఫర్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ డిఫరెంట్ మెథడ్స్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ హౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ అన్ యాసిడ్. So that we will see now. We'll adapt those methods. Okay. Characteristic of acid reacts with carbonate. Carbonate to a reaction. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక నీకు సొల్యూషన్ ఇచ్చాను, అది యాసిడ్ బేస్ అని అడుగుతున్నాను. ఆ ఇచ్చిన సొల్యూషన్ ఏంటో తెలియకుండా దాని నోట్ మీద పెట్టుకుని సోర్ టేస్ట్ ఉంటే దాని యాసిడ్ అని చెప్తాను. Even it is possible you will not do because it might cause a harmful effect to you. So in this manner we'll do a laboratory test to find out it is an acid or a base. So the chemical reaction of acid with the carbonate. Correct. A safe way to test to see if the solution is an acid to place a few drops of the compound that contains a carbonate CO3. Example, limestone is a rock that contains calcium carbonate. When an acid touches a piece of limestone, a reaction occurs that produces carbon dioxide gas. So limestone and the limestone. CaCO3. Chemical formula is CaCO3. ఈ CaCO3 limestone ని ఎప్పుడైతే దాంట్లో ఏముంటుంది కాల్షియం కార్బోనేట్ ఉంటుంది. కాల్షియం కార్బోనేట్ అనేది లైమ్స్టోన్ లో ఉంటుంది. ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ కాల్షియం కార్బోనేట్ ని some acid comes and touches it, what happens? It will release the carbon dioxide. Here in the image you can see it clearly. Limestone with a few drops of acid ఏమవుతుంది? It is releasing the carbon dioxide. So that is how when any solution is tested, if it is an acid, it gives some other product in this product into find. And reacts with metal. How does an acid reacts with a metal? Acids also reacts with most of the metals. The reaction procedure produces hydrogen gas, which we can see as bubbles. ఎప్పుడైనా ఒక యాసిడ్ ని మనం మెటల్ తో రియాక్ట్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? It will release the hydrogen gas, which we can see in forms of bubbles. Okay. And characteristics of acids containing hydrogen. HCl in acetic acid, sulfuric acid, citric acid, nitric acid, phosphoric acid, and carbonic acid, oxalic acids. So these are the different acids which contains the hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion contains these acids. Okay. In exam, if we ask what are the different acids that contain the hydrogen atom, we should write hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, carbonic acid, oxalic acid, phosphoric acid, citric acid, and acetic acid. Right now we have understood what is an acid, how to test that is a given solution an acid or a base. Right now we will find out what is a base. Base and the a base is a substance that releases hydroxide ions in an aqueous solution. Acid and acid is a substance that releases hydrogen ions, H plus ions. Where base is a solution which releases the hydroxide ions, that is OH minus ions. Okay. And for example, when a sodium hydroxide NaOH is dissolved in water, the compound separates into sodium ion and hydroxide ion. NaOH అనేది reaction జరిగితే ఏమవుతుంది? NaOH separates as Na plus and OH minus. Okay, so this is how it is being reacted. So OH minus is being released. So that is called as a base. Okay. the characteristics of bases. Bases usually taste bitter in taste, and bases feel slippery. Bases contain hydroxide ions. These are the few characteristics of the bases. Next, bitter taste. So baking soda. Baking soda you'll be using cakes to taste of the if idli or dosa you're doing, you'll be adding some baking soda into it. Mild bases in the food taste bitter and feel slippery, but as its tasting and touching are not safe. ఇక్కడ మనం జనరల్ గా బేసిస్ అయితే నార్మల్ గా టేస్ట్ చేసి చెప్పొచ్చు, బట్ యాజ్ ఇట్స్ మాత్రం we cannot taste and tell directly, which are not safe. Next, a solution is a base. In fact, some other strong bases can burn the skin as badly as strong acid. కొన్ని స్ట్రాంగ్ బేసిస్ ఏం చేస్తాయంటే యాసిడ్, ఒక స్ట్రాంగ్ యాసిడ్ అయితే ఎలా అయితే నీ హ్యాండ్ పైన వేసుకుంటే హ్యాండ్ ని బర్న్ చేస్తావు, ఒక స్ట్రాంగ్ బేస్ ని నీ హ్యాండ్ పైన వేసుకున్నా కూడా అలానే బర్న్ చేస్తావు. So bases are also that much powerful comparatively as an acid. So you should be also safe with an base also. So that is why we cannot test it also with the tongue. So then what is the other procedure we have to find out? We will see. Next, a base always feels slippery. Bases feel soapy and slippery because they react with acid molecules in your skin and called fatty acids. Bases అనేవి acids తో react. So acids తో react అవుతాయి కాబట్టి ఏమవుతుంది? When it reacts with an acid, what happens? It will release. What it will do? It will react with the acid in the skin. That is nothing but your fatty acids. ఏదైతే ఆయిలీ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఉంటాయో మనం ఫేస్ మొత్తం ఆయిల్ ఉంటే చేస్తే పై ఫేస్ పట్టుకొని వస్తాం. ఇట్ విల్ బి టోటలీ glowing after washing your face. Why? Because the fatty acids which are present on your face, which will react with the soap. Soap lo unna basic soap is prepared with a basic solution. So a base అనేది acid తో react the total fatty acids on your face will be removed. Okay? Slippery nature again about the soap which we have discussed just now. Next, contains sodium hydroxide, that is OH minus. So in which places? These are the strong bases. These are all the strong bases. What are those? Lithium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, vanadium hydroxide, cesium hydroxide, barium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, strontium hydroxide. These are few strong bases. Okay. Next, properties of an acid and a base. So difference between acids and bases. Very important question. Acids tasted sour. Bases tasted bitter. Okay. Do not feel slippery. Do not feel slippery. These feel slippery. The pH is less than 7 for acid. It is greater than 7 for bases. Release hydrogen ions in aqueous solution. It releases OH plus OH minus ions in the aqueous solutions. It is a corrode metal. It does not corrode. Corrosion intelligence. Okay. Next, react with metals to produce a compound and hydrogen gas. Do not react with the metal to produce a compound or a hydrogen gas. Turn litmus paper red or pink. Litmus paper, blue litmus means red litmus ki martha the name we call it as acids or bases. This litmus paper turns to blue. Okay. Properties of acids and bases. Similarities between acids and bases. Now we have in the previous slide we have seen the differences. What are the differences we have in the acids and bases? We have seen it tastes sour, it tastes bitter. All we have understood. Now in this, what are the similarities? The acids ki bases ki na similarities both of them dissolve in the water. Okay, and they both conduct the electricity in the aqueous solution and can irritate or burn the skin. రెండు చేతి మీద వస్తుంది రెండు అంటారు. And acid base strength. pH stands for potential of hydrogen and it is a measure of how many H+ ions are there in a solution. ఒక solution లో ఎన్ని amount of H+ ions ఉన్నాయని చెప్పేదాన్ని potential of hydrogen అంటారు. Okay. And the strength of an acid or a base is usually measured using the pH scale. pH scale use చేసి మనం the strength of acid or base అని చెప్తాం. ఓకేనా? the pH చూపిస్తా pH scale. The more H+ is there, the lower the pH will be. అంటే pH అనేది H plus ions అనేవి ఎక్కువ ఉంటే pH అనేది తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, the more H plus ions are there, least pH value will be there. అదేనా తక్కువ H plus ions ఉంటే ఎక్కువ pH ఉంటుంది. అది ఎందుకు అనేది మీకు the strength of the acids and bases are dependent on the pH scale. So if there is, in the previous slide we have understood, if the H plus ions are more, then the pH will be less. Why? ఎందుకంటే pH అనేది తక్కువ ఉంటే here we get the strong acid. Okay, 7 అంటే ఏమనుకున్నాం మనం? 7 is neutral, right? సో 7 కి దగ్గరగా ఉంది అంటే దాంట్లో యాసిడిక్ నేచర్ అనేది తక్కువగా ఉంది. pH వాల్యూ పెరిగిన కొద్ది ఏమవుతుంది? యాసిడిక్ నేచర్ అనేది తగ్గుతుంది. ఓకే, యాసిడిక్ నేచర్ డిక్రీజెస్, nature decreases with the increase of pH. pH అనేది increase అయితే అది acidic nature అనేది తగ్గుతుంది. If the pH is 7, then the solution is neutral. If the pH is beyond 7, it is basic solution. Okay. Again, I will make another point. Acidic nature, basic nature difference are there. ఒకవేళ H plus ions అనేవి ఎక్కువ ఉంటే pH అనేది తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అసిడిక్ నేచర్ అనేది తక్కువ ఉంటే pH అనేది ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, then next, the number of the pH scale is usually the range from 0 to 14, but numbers outside this range are also possible. Generally pH scale లో మనం 0 నుంచి 14 వరకు చూపిస్తాం. 0 to 7 is acidic, 7 to 14 is basic, 7 is neutral. But దీనికంటే beyond 14 is been also acceptable and it is also there. Our range we consider zero, but that is also there. The middle number is 7, represents a neutral solution. A neutral substance is either an acid nor a base. Pure water has a pH of 7. అంటే న్యూట్రల్ సొల్యూషన్ లో అసిడిక్ నేచర్ ఉండదు, బేసిక్ నేచర్ కూడా ఉండదు. ఒక వాటర్ ప్యూర్ వాటర్ అనేది ఎట్లా చెప్తాం మనం? దాని pH అనేది 7 ఉంటే దాన్ని we will tell it as pure water. ఓకే, అంటే దాంట్లో పొటెన్షియల్ ఆఫ్ హైడ్రోజన్ షుడ్ బి 7. Then we can tell that the solution is pure water or neutral solution. Okay. Then acid base strength. If it is less than pH is less than 7, it indicates acidic solution. If pH is equal to 7, it is neutral solution. If pH is greater than 7, it is a basic solution. Okay. A concentrated strong acid has a low pH value. Okay, concentrated strong acid, just now we have understood. No? Strong acid will have the low pH. Strong acid అని ఎప్పుడు అంటాం మనం? దీని యొక్క pH అనేది 0 or less than 7, అంటే 7 కంటే తక్కువ, 1 2 అలా ఉన్నప్పుడు దాన్ని ఏమంటాం మనం? We call it as strong acid. అంటే pH తక్కువ ఉంటే స్ట్రాంగ్ ఉంటుంది అనుకున్నాం కదా యాసిడ్. సో తక్కువ pH ఉండాలి కాబట్టి సో it might be 0 1 2 3. Those are strong acids. Okay. A concentrated strong base has a high pH value. This is really important. This is మన pH scale, right? ఇక్కడ 7 ఉంది. So this is the acidic increase అనేది ఇట్లా జరుగుతుంది. Basic increase అనేది ఇటు జరుగుతుంది. అర్థమైందా? స్ట్రాంగ్ బేస్ అనేది నెంబర్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటే స్ట్రాంగ్ బేస్ దొరుకుతుంది. 14 దగ్గర స్ట్రాంగ్ బేస్ ఉంటుంది, 7 దగ్గర వీక్ బేస్ ఉంటుంది. అర్థమైంది? ఇక్కడ here we will have the weak acid. Okay, weak acid. Here you have the strong acid. అర్థమైందా? ఇక్కడ నెంబర్ 0 1 1 2 3 something till 7 you have. Here 8 9 10 11 12 till 14 you have. So 14 is the strong base and here less value is the strong base. Here more value will be the strong base. Less value ఉంటే strong acid అవుతుంది, more value ఉంటే strong base అవుతుంది. మోర్ వాల్యూ 7 కంటే అంటే ఈ రేంజ్ లో తక్కువ ఉండేది స్ట్రాంగ్ యాసిడ్, ఎక్కువ ఉండేది వీక్ యాసిడ్. ఈ రేంజ్ లో తక్కువ ఉండేది వీక్ బేస్, ఎక్కువ ఉండేది స్ట్రాంగ్ బేస్. అండర్స్టూడ్? And now we will see acid base indicators. An acid base indicators is a compound that will change color in presence of an acid or a base. Acid base indicator అంటే ఏంటంటే, for example, మనం ఏమంటున్నాం? acid and base both are dissolved in water. If both dissolved in water, we cannot see them, right? So మన solution acid solution ఉందా, base solution ఉందా అని మనకి ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది? ఎలా తెలుస్తుంది? On what basis we can find out it is an acidic solution or a basic solution? Using an indicator. Indicator ఏం చేస్తుంది? ఆ సొల్యూషన్ కి కలర్ ఇస్తుంది. So by seeing that color, if the color changes from one to other, we can find out it is an acid or a base. Okay. For example, lithium is a plant extract that can be blue or red pink. Litmus turns red pink in an acidic solution, and litmus turns blue in a basic solution. Litmus paper is also litmus paper. Red litmus paper and blue litmus paper. The red litmus paper turns in acidic nature, it turns from red to blue. Acidic nature as well as solution, acidic solution is red color nunchi blue color ki marutundi. If it is a basic solution, it turns from the blue to red. Okay, blue to red. Next. So these two are another indicators, natural indicators which you can use to find out whether it is a acid or base. The color of a hydrogen of flat is dependent upon the pH of the soil. So ఈ సాయిల్ యొక్క pH ని బట్టి ఫ్లవర్స్ కి కలర్స్ వస్తాయి. మనకి డిఫరెంట్ కలర్స్ ఉంటాయి ఫ్లవర్స్. ఇవన్నీ ఎట్లా వస్తున్నాయి? Because of the dependence of the soil. Soil యొక్క fertility ని, soil యొక్క pH value ని బట్టి మనకి ఫ్లవర్ యొక్క కలర్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. ఓకే. Acid base indicators. It would be impossible to determine the pH of all solutions using just one indicator such as litmus. ఒక లిట్మస్ పేపర్ ఒక్కదాన్ని యూజ్ చేసుకొని అన్ని సొల్యూషన్స్ ఆఫ్ యాసిడ్ బేస్ అనేది చెప్పలేము. సో several other acid base indicators exist, each producing a color change and a specific pH level. ఒక specific pH level దగ్గర different solutions, different color change అనేదాన్ని చూపిస్తాయి. So what are those all color changes? We will see in detail. So these are the different indicators. Methyl violet, it changes at low pH, it changes to yellow color. At high pH, it changes to violet color. So there are different more other indicators which changes at different pH ranges. So ఒక pH range దగ్గర ఎలా మారుతాయని చూపించారు. Okay. Then next, acid base indicators. An universal indicator is a mixture of chemicals that changes colors through a wide range of pH values. So this is a pH meter scale. If you pour the acid or base on that indicators, at what level it is being reacting, then based on మనం we'll find out whether it is an acidic solution or a basic solution. An even more precise way to determine pH is use a pH meter. So this is a pH meter. ఇది ఏం చేస్తుందంటే మనం సొల్యూషన్ తీసుకుంటే దాని దగ్గర పెడతాము. ఈ pH meter ని దాని లోపల ఇన్సర్ట్ చేస్తాము. And we turn on the switch. This is connected to a device. This device will show you the value of the pH. ఈ సొల్యూషన్ యొక్క pH అనేది ఎంత ఉందని మనకి ఇందులో చూపిస్తుంది. So this is a very accurate process to find out whether it is an acid or a base. If the pH is very low, we will call it as strong acid. If the pH is very high, more than 7, then we call it as strong base. If it is nearer to 7, we call it as weak acid. If it is exceeding 7 and it is nearer to 7, we call it as weak base. And if it is exactly 7, we call it as a neutral solution. Okay. Acids and bases neutralize each other. So next one is neutralization reaction. Okay, acid ni base ni మనం ఎలా neutralize చేయాలి? So how to neutralize an acid and bases? When an acid or a base reacts with each other, the characteristic properties of both are destroyed. Thus they are called neutralization. Nothing but ఒక acid ని ఒక base ని రెండింటిని తీసుకొని రెండింటికి కలిపితే ఏమైతే ఈ రెండు ఒకదానికొకటి రియాక్ట్ అయ్యి both will get the neutralization. రెండు న్యూట్రలైజ్ అయిపోతాయి. న్యూట్రలైజ్ అవ్వడం అంటే ఏంటి? It will be dissolved. Okay, it will get dissolved. So that is nothing but the properties will be getting destroyed. Okay, అందులో ఉన్న ప్రాపర్టీస్ acidic property, basic property will destroy అయ్యి మొత్తం న్యూట్రల్ గా మారుతాయి. So when you add an acid which is a pH of 1 to 7 and when you add a base of pH of 7 to 14, then both will get neutralized and the pH will be 7. That is called neutral solution. Okay. For example, HCl reacts with NaOH. HCl is an acid, right? And NaOH is base. ఈ acid base రెండు react అయితే ఏమవుతుంది? NaCl is formed. NaCl is a pure. NaCl is one solution and ఇంకేం ఫామ్ అవుతుంది? H2O. Water will be also formed. అర్థమైంది? HCl plus NaOH. If these both are reacting, what we form? NaCl plus H2O. Okay. H2O is a neutral solution, like we already know. Okay. Acids and neutrals, they are bases in each other. The salts formed by many soluble water can be insoluble. చాలా సాల్ట్స్ అనేవి వాటర్ లో ఇన్సాల్యుబుల్ గా ఉండొచ్చు. ఈ ఇన్సాల్యుబుల్ గా ఉన్న వాటర్ అనేది those are called as salts. If the salt is insoluble, a precipitate will form. A precipitate అంటే ఏంటి? ఒక సాల్ట్ అనేది ఇన్సాల్యుబుల్ గా అంటే వాటర్ లో డిజాల్వ్ అవ్వకపోతే అది ఏమవుతుంది? ప్రెసిపిటేట్ లా ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. What is a precipitate? A precipitate is a suspension of a small solid particles formed during a chemical reaction. ఏదైనా ఒక కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్ జరిగినప్పుడు ఆ కెమికల్ రియాక్షన్ ఏదైతే జరుగుతుందో జరిగినప్పుడు సస్పెన్షన్ మెటీరియల్ అంటే కింద సస్పెండ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సస్పెన్షన్ అంటే ఏంటి? A colloid form will settle down at the bottom of the solution. Then we call it as a suspension. So that suspension will be there. Then we call it as a precipitate. Okay. And general formulas for an acid-base solution. Acid-base gives us to if acid and base both react and water and salt will be released. In the previous example, HCl plus NaOH, HCl is acid, NaOH is base. If these two forms, H2O is formed and a salt, NaCl is formed. Okay, NaCl and the common salt, sodium chloride. Okay, salt means any ionic compound formed from an acid or a base reaction. Here many definitions are there, you should see this one. Okay. Next one. A common example for neutralization reaction occurs when you shallow an acetic acid table to relieve an upset stomach. So, for example, a common example for neutralization reaction of a common example when you have shallow an anti-acid tablet to relieve your upset stomach. అంటే స్టమక్ పెయిన్ వచ్చినప్పుడు కానీ స్టమక్ లో బర్నింగ్ ఫీలింగ్ జరిగినప్పుడు మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? ఒక టాబ్లెట్ వేసుకుంటారు. The tablet consists of antacid tablet. So, what does it will do? It will just clear the burning feeling in the stomach. So that is only neutralization. Like water low, HCl is there. You already know that. HCl will be helping you to digest the food, right? So HCl అనేది మీరు ఫుడ్ ప్రాపర్ గా తీసుకోకపోతే what happens? What happens if you won't take the food properly? If you won't take the food properly, what happens? The HCl will be released excessively and there will be a stomach problem happen. So andike we should take adequate amount of food at a proper time. Okay, so not to cause different problems. The acid in your stomach has a pH of about 1.5 due to most hydrochloric acid produced by the stomach lining. Just that is what we have discussed. Okay, an acid in your stomach has a pH about 1.5. 1.5 ante it is a strong acid, right? pH is 1.5, then we call it as what? Then we call it as strong acid. Okay. Then, so again, how this antacid will helpful for us to clear the stomach problem that has been explained in this slide. Just to see. And antacid tablets contain a base such as sodium bicarbonate. Antacid tablet లో sodium bicarbonate, magnesium hydroxide, calcium carbonate ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి. ఇది ఏం చేస్తుంది? మన బాడీలో ఉన్న HCl తో రియాక్ట్ అయ్యి it will form a neutralization solution so that you will be getting the relief from the burning sensation of their body. Okay, so that is all about the chapter acids and bases.